Tonight on Cougar News, a suspected pedophile strikes at COC. Find out how he was caught. Campus reaction ahead.
Plus, we remember a young life cut tragically short as a family mourns. Cougar News pays tribute.
And find out how one Santa Clarita man set a world record. The heated details ahead. Cougar News starts now. Hello and welcome to Cougar News. I'm John Gonzalez.
And I'm JT Atkins, and here's the latest from the Cougar Newsroom. A suspected pedophile was caught while trying to videotape a 12-year-old boy in a COC locker room. And LA County Sheriff's deputies are wondering if the same man has done it before. With more, here's the story with John Nussbaum.
It was here in the COC pool locker room just after 5 o'clock on March 21st that the incident was first reported. According to Vice President of Communications John McElwain, a 12-year-old who is part of the Canyons Aquatics Club reported that someone was in the bathroom with a camera.
The young man had a great presence of mind to immediately leave there, find an adult, and report it. That adult went ahead and let our campus safety people know right away, which is part of the arrangement that we have with them. Campus safety arrived in just a very few minutes and were able to locate the individual with the camera. At which point, because of the nature of what went on, the sheriffs were called in, and the case was turned over immediately to them.
And it was this man, Daniel Michael Donovan, who was arrested for allegedly videotaping that child inside the locker room while he was changing. Donovan is a part-time COC student who commutes between Canyons and Glendale Community College. And according to sources within the LA Sheriff's Department, officers allegedly found more child pornography within his car, which was parked here on campus. So what has the Canyons Aquatics Club done to make sure this sort of incident does not happen again?
We encourage the parents to have their children come to take their child in and out of the locker room. We actually encourage them not to use the locker room at all. Well, we've actually, we've opened up a room that's off the deck for kids to change that want to use the locker room, so we're trying to keep them out of the locker room for the time being, and really doubling up on the buddy system, making sure that they are actually going into the locker room with a buddy. We are taking extra care to make sure that it doesn't happen again, and vigilance is the only thing that we can offer. We've got to watch carefully.
Mr. Donovan is currently being held on bail for $45,000, and his next court date is April 7th. If you have any information about this case or the suspect, you're urged to call the number at the bottom of your screen. I'm John Nussbaum for Cougar News.
Earlier this month, a senior from Valencia High School was found dead in a residential neighborhood of Fraser Park. It appears David Duncan may have tripped and knocked himself out while returning home during a snowstorm. Authorities believe Duncan died of hypothermia. This past weekend, family and friends came to grips with the tragedy. Here's more with Cameron Stell.
18-year-old David Duncan, a Valencia High School senior, was found dead on the morning of Monday, March 21st on a trail in Fraser Park.
What I remember best about David is David was kind. David was all about service. I remember going to camping, for example, and a lot of the other kids, as soon as you get there, there's like, you ask them to carry one thing in and put it on the table and they're gone. David would come back. I think part of the testimony of it is the many tender mercies that have come about from his friends at school, from faculty and staff. There's a lot of Duncans at the school.
His death took his family and friends by surprise. Officials stated that on Sunday evening during his walk home in the trails, David suddenly tripped, knocking him unconscious after a hard fall to the head, where he lay alone overnight during a storm.
He was a funny guy. He made every situation somewhat humorous, no matter how serious it was. That's just the kind of person he was. Like, if you ever went to church or something and you sat down next to him, you'd be like, oh God, it's darn it, David. Because he'd be the one who's going to speak out or say something sort of humorous during maybe not a humorous moment, but he was just that kind of guy who could make your life happy at that moment.
David always lived life to the fullest. He never let anything get him down. Always optimistic, always trying to cheer people up. And he was one of those people who wouldn't take no for an answer. He once he set his mind to something, he always saw it through no matter what.
David was never afraid to show love. He, give his mom a hug, give his mom a kiss, in front of everybody else, and he's always looking for a way to serve, always a way to help. David wasn't perfect, but he was a good kid. He tried to do the right things, and generally did. And we'll miss him.
David Duncan was a cherished member of this community. We could tell this by all the support that he got from friends and family, that not only came from Valencia, but from Fraser Park as well. After the turnout of so many people, we could see how much he meant to the community. He will truly be missed. For Cougar News, I'm Cameron Stell.
For the third time in less than a year, a soldier with ties to the Santa Clarita Valley has given the ultimate sacrifice. And late last week, folks said their final goodbyes to a brave combat medic. Robert Sippy picks up the story from there.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound.
On March 19, 2011, Santa Clarita native Rudy Acosta was killed while on duty in Afghanistan. On March 23rd, his family, friends, and several others gathered at the Santa Clarita Baptist Church to celebrate his life.
You know, there are no words that could possibly be grand enough, deep enough, or sobering enough to speak before you here today that can fully convey the amount of compassion, sadness, and gratitude I feel for PFC Rudy Acosta.
This young man did not die in vain, and we shall forever be in his debt.
Those close to Rudy shared their memories of their time with him, which included laughter.
In class, I could always count on Rudy adding a little tidbit that he had learned in Call of Duty the week before.
That's awesome that you shaved your head, but I thought we were going to do the SCCS thing. And he said, I did. And he turns around and I see these furry letters in the back of his head.
And also included tears.
Honestly, I didn't even know what to say today, because what are you supposed to say about your best friend dying?
One thing that will not be forgotten is Rudy Acosta's love for his friends and family, his love for his country, and his love for God. For Cougar News, I'm Robert Sippy.
Tuesday night, President Obama outlined his reasons for getting involved in the latest conflict in the Middle East. Like the rest of the nation, Santa Clarita residents and COC students are keeping a close eye on America's latest intervention in Libya. Arnella Lickscheidel sat down with a student who has a unique opinion on the region.
I don't think he answered all the questions, but I didn't expect him to. It's important that he doesn't explicitly state every single objective, and it's very important that he does not say that killing Gaddafi is a specific goal, because if for some reason the coalition forces can't accomplish that, then it would be considered a failure regardless of whether or not Gaddafi is ousted. Killing Gaddafi can't be a goal.
For more on this interview, please log on to cougarnews.com.
According to the U.S. Census, 21.9 million veterans dot the U.S. landscape. Some return to civilian life with a game plan, but others are unsure of where to turn next. Marlene Nolasco tells us about the services right here at COC that many vets might not know about.
If you recently separated from the military and still haven't used your GI Bill, you should go visit the COC campus and check out the VA Center to see how you can get started.
The Veterans Program at College of the Canyons is about helping veterans access education. And we do that by assisting them in accessing education benefits, helping them transition from a military obligation, and helping them to connect to the student services on campus and within our community.
There are many types of programs and benefits that you could be eligible for depending on your service time. Some of the vets currently attending COC shared their thoughts about their benefits.
Benefits are great. I mean, $2,100 a month just to go to school, can't beat it.
Because of my disabilities, I'm on the VA Voc Rehab program, vocational rehabilitation program. So that's actually helping me out right now, and that's one of the reasons why I came back to school.
If you'd like more information on the benefits or programs being offered, make sure you stop by the Adult Reentry Center, located between Mentry Hall and the coffee kiosk here at COC. I'm Marlene Nolasco with Cougar News.
Japan's most destructive earthquake in history has pushed the death toll to over 11,000, with another 16,000 unaccounted for. Japan is desperate for help. So the International Students Program is doing its part to answer the call. The ISP sold hot bowls of miso soup and rice balls for several hours below Seiko Hall on Tuesday. The fundraiser seemed to draw plenty of customers. ISP students also showcased their calligraphy skills and handed out the artwork to those who purchased soup. 100% of the money will go to the American Red Cross Japan Relief Fund.
We help students from all over the world to come and study in the United States at COC. And our students from Japan, they came to ask for help for this fundraiser to help people, the victims in Japan. So today's profit will go to Japan to help them through American Red Cross. And we have so many beautiful people on this campus, you know. It's great. People just come and drop money, donate money.
My hometown is not near the hotspots, so they're all fine. But I saw a lot of news in Japan, so I want to do something for Japan because Japan is my country and there are a lot of...
The Japan earthquake hits close to home. There are many Santa Clarita residents who have close ties to this country. Gloria Locke takes us via Skype to a former Saugus teen who relocated to Japan.
One Saugus mom talks with her daughter, who now lives in Japan, about her experience during the March 11th earthquake.
I live in Kawasaki, which is a city in between Tokyo and Yokohama. At that time when the earthquake happened, we were in Yokohama at the Zurashia Zoo. There's a TV that you can watch on Japanese cell phones. And that's when we noticed the tsunami, and we're like, oh God, this is kind of big. Especially with the nuclear plant and not really knowing how bad the damage was or if it could get controlled. I seriously felt that I should come back with the kids. But now I feel for the most part that Tokyo is still relatively safe from the radiation. Since I've come to Japan, we would have small quakes and quimmers often, maybe once, twice a month. And no one really thought much about it. Like, there has always been, like, I guess, quiet talk of what happens if the big one comes. But no one really took it completely serious. I just want people to be more prepared.
For Cougar News, I'm Gloria Locke.
Talks at finding middle ground to solve California's $26.5 billion budget deficit have fallen apart. And that's not good news for the state's community colleges or universities. Earlier this month, leaders of the Cal State system decided to again cut enrollment in anticipation that money from the state is drying up. Here's more with Amy Lopez.
It seems like Jerry Brown's budget cuts never cease to end, and education institutions are bracing themselves for the impact for the most recent cut. Recently, officials at the California State University system have announced plans to enroll about 10,000 fewer students for the following school year. This 2.4% reduction of student enrollment is proposed to save about $600 million. But for some students here on campus, the savings just aren't worth the negative effects.
If I'm going to be affected, because I will transfer next year to Cal State Northridge for my business degree, and they're not accepting 10,000 students, then I might be affected, and that sucks for me because then I'll just be doing nothing.
Well, being a COC student, CSU universities are one of the major choice of here, all the students here. One of my choice for CSU, one of my choice for universities is CSU, and it just sucks that I'm not going to be able to get into the school that I probably want to.
Coming up next on Cougar News, spring break is right around the corner, but we have one place you don't want to go. Details ahead.
Plus, creativity flows at COC. The next installment of Project Sam coming up next.
Vincenzo's Newhall offers the best value and great tasting pizza for all of the Santa Clarita Valley. From the freshest toppings and savory sauce to expertly hand-tossed pies, Vincenzo's Newhall offers terrific service, ice-cold drinks, fresh salads, and of course, great tasting handmade pizza. Vincenzo's features Friday night karaoke. Saturday night, it's live bluegrass featuring the Grateful Dudes, and Sunday, the only live local rock and roll. Vincenzo's Newhall invites you to dine in or try their takeout, or let us come to you with our rapid and friendly home delivery. Vincenzo's Newhall, inch for inch, the best pizza in the Santa Clarita Valley.
Welcome back. With spring break on the horizon, many students are ready for some rest and relaxation. But before you book that trip to Cabo or Cancun, beware. Whether it's fun in the sun or catching up on homework, many college students look at spring break as free time to breathe before hitting that stretch run into summer. So what do COC students have planned for their week-long vacation?
Basically, right now it's just to take a break from school.
Stay home and do nothing.
Gonna have a nap marathon. See how many bowls of cereal I can devour.
But whether you're staying at home or making a trip out of it, one COC official warns students to stay away from the border.
Mexico, particularly northern Mexico, is just a bad place right now. I can tell you why I think that's a problem, but we all know, we all read the news.
Due to the current drug wars, the United States has issued a travel advisory for those wanting to go to Mexico. They say places like Cabo and Cancun, which have become synonymous with spring break, are just too dangerous to visit right now. Some cruise lines, like Princess Cruises based here in Santa Clarita, have dropped certain Mexican cities from their itineraries due to the increased violence. But one COC student we spoke to just got back from that same Princess Cruise and says she never once feared for her life.
The places we went to, I totally felt safe. And they canceled one of the places, Mazatlan, but in Cabo we went for 2 days and I totally felt safe.
Predators know that it's spring break, and they know that it's that American students are there. They know that they want to party. They know that they're going to be drinking. My advice to my own children and to anybody who would want to listen to me is stay out of Mexico.
For Cougar News, I'm Jonathan Gonzalez.
Here's an idea close to home. If you're looking for good live theater, look no further than your very own COC Performing Arts Center. The COC Theater Department is presenting Arthur Miller's Death of a Salesman in the Black Box Theater today through Sunday. The 1949 classic tells the story of Willie Loman, a down-on-his-luck middle-aged salesman who is unable to understand how or why he never achieved the success he dreamed of. Tickets range from $10 to $51. For more information, visit canyonspack.com.
Now for the rest of tonight's entertainment news from the world of fashion, beauty, and a little music, here's Greta Fuentes.
Thanks, John. Now everyone be on the lookout, because SCV has some very unique and talented people walking amongst us. I got a chance to look into the life of one of the many.
The model with the pink hair is all the rage right now, from the blogging to the fashion world. Charlotte Free, newcomer to the modeling world, is making a name for herself. With her hot pink locks and beautiful looks, she is stealing the spotlight. But who is she? This 5'7" enchanter is just a regular small-town girl. Charlotte Free is a Santa Clarita native. She was born in Los Angeles but has lived most of her life in Santa Clarita, attending many of the same schools Santa Claritans have. One student remembers sharing a class with her.
I had a class with her freshman year, and I remember we had to dissect a frog, so no one else wanted to do it but her, so she's always been really outgoing like that.
She started her modeling career not too long ago when David Meshigian, a well-known photographer, scouted her at an arcade. At first, Free shrugged it off, but then later found out he was a professional. He took pictures of her and spread them around until IMG Modeling Agency got a hold of them and now currently have Free under development. For those of you looking to get started in the modeling career, Charlotte shared a few tips. The first is to find a mother agency here in LA, and after they think you're ready to move on, they'll send you to New York. But the main thing, she said, was to always channel your energy and stand out. Although it is still early in Free's career, she has had the honor of opening a Jeremy Scott runway show. Opening a show is a huge honor for any model, especially a newcomer. She has also walked in Vivienne Westwood and Manish Arora's runway shows, who are some of her favorites. Keep your eye out for Charlotte, who is sure to be heard of in the future. For more of this exclusive interview, visit cougarnews.com.
Last week, Cougar News introduced you to a new art and music program highlighting talented students. Project SAM is off to a strong start. Here's more with John Rivera.
Project SAM, this is Rambam.
This week, Project SAM got a chance to interview local DJ Andrew Seo, aka Rambam.
It's not just the music I like, I just like seeing people dance to the music, and it just makes you feel good, because they're having a good time, and you're the one providing that good time. You got that good chemistry going on, you know what I mean? I'm having fun, you're having fun, okay, we're good.
Oh wait, this is the actual thing? Yeah. Oh, you were just getting me just scratching again. My bad.
So I've been DJing for about 2.5 years now. You gotta have a lot of confidence in wanting to do it. I'm sure people want to do it, and then they tell themselves, I'm gonna do it, and then, things could hold them back, like, money, for example, family, problems and, relationships with your friends, your parents, whatever, But that's life, Like, just gonna go up and down, speed bumps, and you can't just let those things, like, ruin your dreams, We're young, it's the whole life out there. Might as well just go out and do it.
Weapon of choice. For more information and for an exclusive performance from Rambam, go to cougarnews.com. I'm John Rivera.
And I'm Rambam.
Back to you guys in the studio.
iTunes music sales at an all-time high. Finding 50-year-old records may be difficult for the nostalgic music lover. But our Austin Dave has a scoop about a store that sells everything from new and used CDs to vinyl LPs and DVDs.
Old music has found a new life here at a local record store aptly named Rock Candy. The 6-month-old store is a distinctive commodity in Santa Clarita and is now one of the closest record stores to COC.
We just felt that there was a big need out here in Saugus for a record store to come into this area, and we have been going down to LA, to Amoeba, and to some of the other places and checking them out, and we noticed that they were busy all the time. There was people buying vinyl and stuff, and we were like, Saugus needs a record store, so we're just going to go ahead and do it. And we live down here, so we figured, let's just open up one close to home.
The store's various genres run the gamut, from 60s blues to the latest Ting Tings album.
I found out about Rock Candy from Facebook. They opened here, I think, a little over 8 or 9 months ago, and I've been coming to local shows here about every 2 weeks since they've opened.
The community has really embraced us and has been very helpful in having us come here and just telling everybody through Facebook and through Twitter and anything that they can think of. It's just been a really good experience. Everybody has seemed very excited and really wants us to succeed.
There's no place really for, I play like folk music or music like that. There's not a lot of places like that, like especially in this valley. There's a lot of screamo bands and stuff, and nothing against them. It's just you can come in here and you can play. Like they used to have open mic nights, but they were always at bars and it'd be 21 or older, and it's always a problem. So when you have people coming in here that can play something here, it's like for the valley. It's really cool.
Local artists are afforded space in the store to sell their albums. They can also showcase their talents at the Jurgensen's live acoustic performance nights. For Cougar News, I'm Austin Dave.
That will do it for this week's look at entertainment. Back to you guys.
Still to come on Cougar News, ever wonder what a human firework looks like? The fiery details ahead.
Plus, the CLC softball team takes one team to the woodshed. Brad Lewis has it up next in sports. Some people choose to become teachers or police officers, but Amanda Moulton shows us someone who has a unique way of earning a living.
Stuntman Jason Domingo is known for his daring career. He has appeared in more than 100 film and television shows. His specialty is pyrotechnics. Family and friends joined in Canyon Country to watch Jason set himself on fire for 5 minutes and 26 seconds, breaking the record. With the help of his crew at Action Factory Stunts, Jason was able to complete the burn without any problems.
You guys did a rocking job. I tend to get like, and I holler a lot, but these guys are the best. These are the best in the world right here.
He knows his boundaries. He'll push them as far as he can all the time, but he knows when to stop to make sure that he's not going to get hurt.
Although Jason did break the record, the unsettling thought of the unknown made him cut the burn short.
You know, next time, and there will be a next time, I want 8 minutes. So whatever we have to do to accomplish that, we will.
For Cougar News, this has been Amanda Moulton.
It's time for sports with Brian Lewis. Brian, it's really amazing what COC's been able to do on the baseball field.
It has been amazing, John, but they did suffer a 4-game losing streak in the middle of March. But the team has bounced back, winning their last 2 games, heading into a big conference matchup against rival LA Mission College. Troy Nyman gets the nod on the mound for COC, looking for his 4th win of the year, and he would have himself a day. COC gets it going right out of the gates with Juan Perez sending one to center field. He'll wind up and let one fly, but Robbie Mazzulli is going to slide in safely. Cougs with a 1-0 lead. Now to the 7th inning, and it's Perez again driving one to left field. And look at Mazzulli get on his horse, and he's going to giddy on up all the way home. The focus would be on Troy Nyman, though, as he went 8 innings, giving up 1 run on 3 hits, striking out 6, as the Cougars helped move the Eagles right back up on the endangered species list with a 2-1 win, going on a 3-game winning streak.
You know, we did start off slow, and we lost some tight games late in ball games. I think we lost 3 games in the 9th inning, so we've been in just about every ball game, and now we're finally starting to close them out a little bit.
After a dismal 2011 start, the College of the Canyons softball team has regrouped just in time to start conference play, winning 6 of their last 7 games, going 4-1 in conference. Could they keep the hot streak alive when LA Valley came to town? Out to Witten Field, where the lone sophomore Carissa Hartwig takes the circle, looking for her 5th straight conference win. After a scoreless first, the Lady Cougars strike first in the 2nd on a ground ball to 3rd by Kiana Duran, and the throw's just a tad high. Caitlin Zimmerman's going to cross the plate, and COC has the early 1-0 lead. The ladies keep it going in the 2nd, when the very next hitter, Brianna De La Torre, sends one tight-roping the line for the RBI double, bringing in Duran for a 2-0 lead. We're not done yet in the 2nd, as Amy Drogi gets a hold of one, and look at how fast that leaves the yard. It's the freshman's 2nd of the season. COC scores 7 runs in the 2nd inning and goes on to mercy LA Valley 8-0 to improve their conference record to 5-1.
We kind of opened it up a little bit today. I threw a few extra hit and runs in there to kind of let those girls get those bats off their shoulders. Definitely they took advantage of that 2-out rally. I think we scored 6-7 runs, I think, that inning, and it took the life out of them. You could see it.
The Lady Cougars continued their hot streak last week by smoldering LA Mission 28-1 in the first game and 14-2 in the second, outscoring them 42-3 in the doubleheader. COC will continue their stretch of 15 road games tomorrow at Glendale for a doubleheader beginning at 1 p.m., and they're not going to return home until April 19th against Mission at 2:30. Now we head to the swimming pool, where the College of the Canyons swim and dive team is coming off a disappointing conference loss to rival Bakersfield. They look to rebound in their final home meet of the season. Out to the pool, where COC hosts a quad meet between LA Valley, Santa Monica, and Ventura colleges. Both the men and women finished on Friday in 3rd place. The men had a combined score of 40 points, while the women scored just 42. There were a few individual standouts in the meet, as Courtney Smith brought home COC's lone 1st place finish for the women in a 200-yard individual medley with a time of 2 minutes and 36 seconds. And the men's 200-yard medley relay team that consists of Jimmy Karen, Keith Wells, Nicholas Anguetta, and Tyler Miller broke the school record with a time of 1 minute and 43 seconds. Ventura took home the meet in all three categories, men's, women's, and combined. After posting 3 first-place finishes to start the 2011 season, the COC men's track and field team looked to continue their undefeated season, while the women's team looked to hurdle their way back from a slow start in their only home meet of the year. Out to Cougar Stadium, where COC hosted the first Western State Conference meet of the year between Citrus, Glendale, Santa Monica, Ventura, and West LA. And it would be the Cougars men's team coming out on top again with 209 total points. COC also captured 7 individual first-place finishes, including hurdler Matt Harmon, who ran a 14.99 second in the 110-meter hurdles and a 54.55 second in the 400-meter hurdle to bring in 20 points for the Cougs. Chris Lowe won the 1,500-meter run with a time of 4 minutes, beating out Glendale's Neil Jones by just 0.2 of a second. The women's team continued their struggles, finishing 4th to the winner West LA, who scored 235 points. Amber Wright led the ladies on the track as she won the 100-meter dash with a time of 12.8 seconds. Now to the gridiron, where the College of the Canyons football team finished with another disappointing subpar season at 6-5. It may be a little early to be thinking about football, but you know head coach Garrett Tujay and the team is looking ahead. College of the Canyons released its football schedule for the 2011 season. The schedule is exactly the same as 2010, just flip-flopped the home and away games. The Cougars will open up with 2 straight home games against Antelope Valley College and the defending state champion Mount San Antonio College. COC will then finish up non-conference play at Citrus, home against East LA, and then at Grossmont. They will open up conference play on the road at El Camino, then return home against Allen Hancock before hitting the road again for at Cerritos and Ventura College. Then the big showdown against their hated rivals Bakersfield, and that'll be right here at Cougar Stadium this year on November 12th at 7 p.m. That's going to do it for sports. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Brian. I'm already looking forward to football season. You know, it's been a while since we've had a good vacation idea. Consider that problem solved. As Chris Kelso tells us, it's in your own backyard.
This week's staycation takes us no further than the College of the Canyons campus. The Santa Clarita Street Fair is a great option for some family fun with offerings for all ages. Whether you're shopping, eating, playing, or looking to taste some new foods, this event is for you. I'm standing with
Lauren Ballin Flores, the event coordinator for the Santa Clarita Street Fair. There's a variety of different vendors. We have jewelry, we have fashion, we have fine art vendors, we have different home services, home decor, you name it, we probably got it here. And then there's also some kids attractions like today we have a rock wall and a bouncy and different things like that.
7-year-old Evan Plachette did enjoy the rock wall, and I had a chance to talk to him about his experience. How was it?
Great.
Have you ever done that before?
No.
Was it kind of scary?
Sort of.
Yeah, would you do it again?
Sure.
Sure, yeah. Do you think other kids would like to do that?
Yeah.
Food for the event is provided by the different offerings of food trucks that will be here each and every week. If you live here in the Los Angeles area, you may have tried some of these local favorites. The food trucks cover the menu with pizza, burgers, southern barbecue, and even exotic tastes. Prices are reasonable and choices abound. Each month, the food trucks attending this event will rotate, so everyone is sure to find something they will enjoy. The street fair comes to the College of the Canyons campus the 4th weekend of every month, going on through the rest of this year. If you're interested in more information, visit SantaClaritaStreetFair.com. Reporting for Cougar News, I'm Chris Kelso.
That does it for this edition of Cougar News. I'm JT Atkins. For more stories, videos, and photos, go to CougarNews.com.
And I'm John Gonzalez. Remember, you can send us news tips and story ideas to cougarnews@canyons.edu. Have a good night.